Had my dad been diagnosed earlier, I think we could have made even more plans. Yes, we did all the things that we needed to do in terms of making sure that we had a kind of a care plan, but even more on a personal level, I think it comes down to just being able to spend quality time with family.
My wife, Jerry, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's around 2012. So she's been diagnosed for 12 years. The first 10 were really wonderful years. Most people think of the late stage individual who can't care for themselves, but it's really a very long and slowly declining condition.
Alzheimer's is a chronically progressive illness, so it starts somewhere and then it goes further.
We want to treat a person before they're diagnosed with dementia, before their cognitive changes have impacted their independence. That's the most important thing.
Part of Medicare includes an annual wellness visit. As defined by Medicare, that annual wellness visit includes a cognitive evaluation.
One of the really important things about annual screening, particularly as part of the Medicare wellness visit, it really kind of is designed to help identify problems before you really notice anything significant. So you have as much advanced time to plan and talk to your friends and loved ones about how to support you through the journey as possible.
As you're approaching your 50s, especially at age 65, be sure you're getting your baseline understanding of your brain's health, because then you've got a sense of where you're at as far as your risk for something like Alzheimer's in the future.
Now that we have new disease-modifying medications, earlier detection is so important. This is where the role of primary care has become really critical.
If you ask your primary care physician for a cognitive screening and they decline or say you don't need one, ask them if they can provide more information about what their thoughts are and why they arrived at that conclusion. And they are not offering you one, you can ask for a Medicare annual wellness visit, which includes one. If they say they don't provide those or don't have that available, then ask if they can connect you with someone who can perform those.
There are many other disease states that primary care doctors worry about. So by the time you get around to talking about, I think I might be forgetful or have a problem, you might just get moved to the next appointment. I've had patients tell me that's what happened to me for years. And the ones that are very persistent and advocate for themselves have often found their diagnosis still very early, but with a lot of effort.
If we had had that diagnosis earlier, I probably would have retired sooner because I would have known I didn't have as much time.
The younger a person is and the earlier they are in the disease, the more effective the drugs are. We're looking at prevention studies now and begin some of the newest amyloid-removing treatments in those individuals. When someone's diagnosed early, they are empowered. They have the opportunity to design their life, and then for the treatments to actually buy them extra time. We're talking about years of additional independence time for someone who can strike early enough.
That's the hardest part. It was too late. That by the time he was diagnosed and you talked to him, he wasn't able to communicate and tell you what he really, really thought. And I think had he been earlier, we could have spent more time with him. And he has so many stories. How much would I pay just to hear him to tell me that story again?
But there's no mountain we can climb. But there's no mountain